Most people think low intelligence shows up in grades, IQ tests, or big mistakes, but psychologists say that's not where it starts. Your intelligence is shaped quietly by the small habits you repeat every single day. And the scary part? Some of these habits don't just make you think poorly in the moment, they slowly train your brain to avoid thinking at all. If you recognize even one of these, don't panic, just stay with me. The myth is simple. Intelligence is something you're born with. The truth? How well your brain works depends heavily on how you use it daily. Certain habits don't destroy intelligence overnight, they lower your thinking quality over time. Let's break down the 8 habits psychologists repeatedly link to declining mental sharpness. 1. Confusing coincidence with cause. Some people believe luck controls outcomes. Lucky clothes, lucky days, superstitions that replace logic. Psychologists call this magical thinking. When your brain links unrelated events, this worked once so it must always work, it skips critical thinking. Intelligent minds pause and ask, where's the evidence? Low-quality thinking accepts comfort over truth. 2. Chronic sleep neglect. Bragging about sleeping 4 hours isn't discipline, it's damage. Psychology shows that even short-term sleep loss weakens memory, attention, and decision-making. After poor sleep, your brain functions similarly to mild intoxication. Smart people protect sleep because they understand one thing: a tired brain can't think deeply. Neglecting sleep doesn't make you productive, it makes you sloppy. 3. Constant distraction. If silence makes you uncomfortable, pay attention. Needing constant noise, music, videos, scrolling often signals weak mental processing. Psychologists link this to avoidance of internal thought. Intelligent minds use quiet moments to reflect and connect ideas. Lower quality thinking hides from silence because it requires effort. If you can't sit with your own thoughts for 5 minutes, your brain never gets a chance to sharpen itself. 4. Living only in small talk. Small talk isn't bad, living in it is. Weather, traffic, weekend plans, over and over. Psychologists call this low need for cognition, avoiding deeper thinking because it feels uncomfortable. Intelligent people enjoy conversations about ideas, meaning, and curiosity. If talking never leads anywhere, the mind slowly stops exploring. 5. Confidence without understanding. The loudest person in the room often knows the least. Psychologists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited knowledge overestimate their competence. True intelligence sounds different. It says, I might be wrong. I don't know. Explain that again. Fake intelligence hides behind volume. Real intelligence asks questions. 6. Blindly following rules. Rules are tools, not commandments. People who never adapt instructions to reality often avoid thinking for themselves. Psychologists link this to cognitive rigidity. Smart minds adjust when conditions change. Low-quality thinking follows instructions straight into failure. If reality contradicts the plan, intelligence updates the plan. It doesn't ignore reality. 7. Falling for dramatic explanations. Conspiracy theories feel exciting because they simplify complexity. Psychology shows the brain prefers stories over evidence when thinking feels hard. Lower-quality thinking grabs the first explanation that feels satisfying. Intelligent thinking tolerates uncertainty while checking facts. Drama isn't depth, evidence is. 8. Constant instant gratification. Endless scrolling, snacking, quick dopamine hits. Psychologists show that constant instant reward trains the brain to avoid effort. When everything is easy, thinking feels hard, and the brain resists it. Smart people accept short-term discomfort for long-term clarity. Lower quality thinking avoids effort and calls it living. Here's the important part. Everyone slips into these habits sometimes. This isn't about labeling people as smart or dumb. Intelligence isn't fixed, it's maintained. Habits don't define who you are, they shape how your mind operates. Low intelligence isn't about being born incapable. It's about repeating habits that train your brain to stop questioning, stop focusing, and stop adapt. Change the habits, and your thinking quality improves. Not slowly, but noticeably. Most people will hear this and scroll back to the same habits that keep them average. But if you want to understand psychology without sugarcoating, subscribe to this channel, because here we don't motivate, we explain.